2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
What's going on, everybody? John J. Gaming on the mic here. We are here with Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, man. Your Cincinnati Royals, we're still only one game away from reaching the conference finals for the first time in our franchise history. And we're going to go ahead now, get things underway right about now. Game 6 of this Eastern Conference finals, or semifinal series between the Chicago Bulls and the Cincinnati Royals is now underway, so make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new, of course. As now we go ahead and get to work. Blake Griffin not wasting any time, getting himself on the board and gets the first points of this game here. As Cincinnati trying to come out firing, but Chicago on the fast break, looking to tie this thing up already. Giannis trying a free. Hey, if Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to take that free-pointer, we will certainly live with that, as Malik Beasley shows Giannis Antetokounmpo how a free-pointer is actually shot. Gets that corner free to go. Green bean, too, on top of it. As we got a nice early lead here, 10-4 now, as Ron Valabidi going to work. Malik Beasley get it open on that left-hand side once again. He already has 5 points. He gets to start over Josh Green in this one. So now 14-8 game here. Zach LaVine trying to pull up for the mid-range, but Nurkic left by himself as Valabidi came over to help, but somehow got his own rebound though, despite the fact we had 2 guys right in front of him. You hate to see it, as a 16-12 game turns into 16-14. A close battle here early on as Giannis gets another layup to go. As Lewis Jr., he tries to pull from free. Tyrese Halliburton was looking lost on defense, but at least doesn't make us pay for it. As we get to Ron Valabidi once again, who gets that nice leaning shot to go. That's a tough shot to make, but I'm glad that he made it though. As a 2-possession lead here for the Cincinnati Royals. As Terry, he gets it off to Levi Lewis Jr., who goes around, gets it to Lauri Markkanen, who pulls up for free, but that's no good. Derrick Jones Jr. now with the rebound. Getting it to Henrik Stevenson, who throws it down. Okay. 6-point game now as Chicago looks to respond as Markkanen. Nice spin move, but we get the steal from Josh Green. And Josh Green also gonna finish the other way too. Oh my. Reaching up to the heavens, baby. Let's go. 24-16 in favor of Cincinnati. But can we build on this run though? As we're trying to pass the ball around a little bit, but we turn the ball over. Here comes the Bulls the other way, and Giannis all by himself going to go ahead and lay it down. Surprised he didn't dunk that one, considering he does have the takeover badge turned on. But I mean, at least it's not as much for the momentum, as Giannis with that takeover badge tries a three-pointer, but can't get that one to go either. Again, if Giannis makes those threes, we'll live with that, man. As long as we don't let him get to the rim, you'll give like a bunch of points from there. That's how we're going to have to beat this team, man, because Giannis, he took over in Game 5, and that's why we even have a Game 6 in the first place. We should have honestly closed these guys out in the previous game, as Denzel Valentine trying to dribble to a hoop. Lauri Markkanen doing a nice job with the pick and roll and gets the last bucket of the first quarter to go. We got ourselves a tight battle, man. It's only a, what is it, like a 5-point game after 1 quarter of play. A lot of it is Giannis, you know, putting in that extra work. In a 29-22 game, man, after 1 quarter. Second quarter coming up here in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. So let's go, man. Game 6, second quarter officially underway now as Terry drives to the rack, gets it to Denzel Valentine in the corner. Misses, but Jusuf Nurkic gets the offensive rebound and gets the second chance points, though. As we got a 6-point game here. Scoring same way as the first quarter, man. Both teams are definitely heating up towards the end, and they're continuing that here as Lauri Markkanen tries to shoot it over Malik Beasley, but it's no good. Ron Valabidi, though, trying to dribble it past Kobe White, but instead gets it out to Blake Griffin, who's got 8 points in this one. As it makes it an 8-point game. Halliburton trying to corner free, trying to make it a double-digit game, but that's no good, as Levine will try a free of his own, and he gets that one to go. That brings it back down to just a 6-point game. As MPJ looking to get past Kobe White, trying to run a pick and roll with Ron Valabidi, but instead MPJ pulling from deep, looking to take advantage of the mismatch on Nurkic, but can't quite do it. Kobe White, though, left wide open. And that's too easy for him. Just a one-possession game right now as we try to, get some points of our own, but we turn the ball over once again. Zach LaVine going the other way, drawing the foul on Tyrese Halliburton, and then also getting the and one opportunity. So it's all tied at 43, and look at this. We turn the ball over once again. Zach LaVine even getting a tough layup to go, and at this point we got to call a timeout here because we're just being a little too lackadaisical on the offensive side of the ball. Now it's time for our team to get back on track. At least hopefully a miss by Michael Porter Jr. gives the Bulls a chance here to extend this lead, and they do with Brian Horn, custom prospect, I believe from season 1. As now Halliburton trying to get past Lewis Jr. He turns the ball over again. Halliburton just playing incredibly sloppy. That's his third turnover already, it seems like. As the Bulls extend their lead further as Lewis Jr. tries to extend it. That's no good. Cincinnati trying to go the other way with it. Tries to get to the corner, but Josh Green is already covered like a blanket. And we got to back it out. Trying to get one more good play in before the end of the second quarter. Josh Green pulling and gets that free to go despite the loose ball foul. That still counts the bucket, though. In a one-point game, Giannis trying to go the other way with it. He's going to pull from the mid-range and gets that one to go. And we trying to get some points on the board before the end of the second quarter. A Hail Mary just to get us into a decent position. But it's the end of the first half, man. It's been some explosive offensive firepower on both sides as we will go into the locker room here in game 6. And the Chicago Bulls, they got a narrow lead on us, 65-62. Biggest difference right now has been the steals, but Josh Green, though, he's been balling out for 16 points. Giannis, on the other hand, doing what he's accustomed to. 28 points in this first half. Determined to keep the Chicago Bulls in this playoffs and force it into a game 7. And speaking of Giannis Antetokounmpo, here he comes now. He still has the takeover badge turned on, despite the fact that we've been in the locker room for a hot minute. As now, we'll see if we can get a stop on defense. Giannis throwing it down on Michael Porter Jr. Extends it to a 5-point game as Cincinnati finally gets a stop. Looking for the first points of this third quarter. Josh Green, he can throw it down too. He's got 18 in this one. A 3-point game as Giannis pulling for another free. He's feeling himself a little bit, but hasn't gotten any of those 3-point attempts to go. Blake Griffin, though, drawing the foul on Giannis Antetokounmpo, who has 30 points in this one, but only makes one of the free throws. And it's still a 2-point game with Nurkic out at the top of the key. Gets it to Zach LaVine. Trying to play some good D. Passes it out, though. Nurkic trying the free. We're okay with that as he almost airballs it. Here comes Ron Valabidi, though. Gets it to Blake Griffin, who lays it up. He got the little fillet action going, too. And we pull a little bit closer now. 2-point game still. Valabidi getting the rebound for us. Trying to take on Kobe White. And does so! No match for Ron Valabidi. And it ties the game at 69. Nice. And now, Antetokounmpo trying another mid-range jumper. No good. Ron Valabidi got the takeover badge turned on, though. Here comes our second-year center, who's double-teamed. Gets it to Blake Griffin, though. Misses, but gets his own rebound and draws the foul on Giannis. And that gives us our first lead of the second half. Blake Griffin coming through for us here, adding some additional firepower from the power forward position, and it certainly has paid off as we got a 3-point lead after the free throw made by Blake Griffin, as Valabidi with the takeover badge trying to take on the T for the defense and draws a foul as well. This time, it is on Kobe White, though. So let's go, man. Valabidi able to make both free throws. And is back up to a 5-point game as Giannis trying to get something going. Misses another mid-range jumper who was trying to shoot it over Tony Bradley. As Giannis back down by Ron Valabidi. And he's just feeling himself now. Unstoppable with that takeover badge, man. As Giannis was no match. 5-point game again. Malik Beasley got the ball now, top of the key, getting it to Derrick Jones Jr. Trying to take it into the teeth for the defense, but no good. Giannis has the rebound. They're running trying to run a fast break as Brian Horn lays it up, and it's good. Back down to a, really close game, man. Could still go either way as Giannis gets it out to Lauri Markkanen, who passes it around some more. He's got to allow Giannis take those threes, man. Take those threes. They're not working for him. He's 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. We are cool with that. As Josh Green lays it up, and it's good. Tough defense. Way to lay it in, though. It's Josh Green now with 23 points, the former second-round pick with the business. As Giannis tries another free once again. Jeremy Grant able to track down the rebound. Here comes Cincinnati with Jeremy Grant laying it up and draws the foul. So Jeremy Grant going to go to the free throw line here again, making it 87-79 as the offensive outpouring for Cincinnati continues. Meanwhile, our defense, able to come through a little bit here, able to, get some stops on defense a little bit, at least slow down Giannis a little bit, but when he gets Josh Green in the post, that's barbecue chicken, though. And we have to call another timeout to address that. Continue to emphasize that we cannot allow Giannis to get into the paint. It just simply can't happen. But speaking of Giannis Antetokounmpo, though, he's actually out of the game right now, so a huge opportunity for us to go ahead and extend this lead before the end of the third quarter as Josh Green gets it to Jeremy Grant, who throws it down. Only his second bucket, but it's a big one, though. And it extends this thing to a 10-point game. As it's still 91-81. Final seconds of this third quarter. Trying to lock him down. Henrik Stevenson on him like a blanket, though. Gets the steal. Here comes Cincinnati. Jeremy Grant throws it down with a 40, baby. Let's go. That's going to be the end of the third quarter, man. Cincinnati starting to pull away a little bit now. We're leading with a score of 93-83. A 10-point game going to a final quarter. This time we got to go and finish these guys off so that we can make a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals. So let's go, man. Fourth quarter officially underway now as Tyrese Halliburton getting ready to go to work. Looking for somebody to get open. Michael Porter finally does and makes them pay for it. Able to get the green bean in the corner. That's barbecue chicken with that kind of space. As Zach LaVine trying to drive into the paint, but that's no good either. Here comes Cincinnati. Josh Green, who throws down another dunk here once again. He has 25 points. The third-year pro from Arizona, giving Chicago the business, especially on that fast break. Is now 97-83. Terry trying to drive into the paint where Josh Green is. Great defense. And gets the rebound, too, on top of it. Pushing it down court. Valabidi all by himself. He's got a double-double already. 16 and 10. Speaking of double-doubles, there's Tyrese Halliburton. He has a double-double as well. 12 points and 13 assists, but misses that layup. As Zach LaVine able to go the other way with it. And cuts it down a little bit, but Cincinnati at this point really starting to pull away from this one. As Kobe White trying to get something going. Pulls up for free, but it's no good. Valabidi going the other way with it. Gets it down the court and throws it down. Valabidi with 21 in this one. On top of 11 rebounds. As now Chicago, they need somebody other than Giannis to get something going here. Because he can't really make that three-point shot all that well. And they really need a bunch of threes to get back into this game. And it's looking great for us too. We're basically up by 20 at this point, despite 47 points from Giannis Antetokounmpo at this juncture of the game. As MPJ, he tries to get a layup to go. That's no good. somehow half the team for the Chicago Bulls has their takeover badge turned on. They're really trying to make a late push here to keep the series alive, but we're just simply not allowing it right now, man. 2.5 minutes left. There's going to be an actual miracle from God for Chicago to come back and win this one. 25-12, by the way, as Valabidi almost gets the ball ripped from him. Blake Griffin, though, 20 points, by the way. You love to see it. He didn't really contribute that much in the regular season, but in the biggest moment, Blake Griffin having one of his best games as a Cincinnati Royal. As, you know, Chicago's still trying to fight hard, but at this point, it really is just, you know, just icing on the cake. You know, just trying to get up out of here at this point, as making sure that, you know, maybe nobody major gets hurt, you know, because we're going to need everybody, you know, all hands on deck for the Eastern Conference Finals. But, I mean, if Chicago wants to be petty, we can be petty too, man. Let's go ahead and get to the bucket real quick. Pad the stats just a tad, as Blake Griffin is giving him the business. Going to the paint, trying to boost Valabidi's stats. He already has 25. And look at this, gets his own rebound too, but misses the putback though. 130 to 112. Giannis driving down court, gets it to Zach LaVine, who's going to pass it around and gets the layup to go. But still, this game has been over for a little bit now, and this is the official icing on the cake. Your Cincinnati Royals completing franchise history for the first time in this series. We are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know who we play in, but if we can play like we did against the Chicago Bulls, we could be in for a good one.
Alright, man, so checking out the stats for our guys, and once again, this was indeed just one of those games where it was a team effort. We had 4 guys over 20 points, by the way. Ron Valabidi and Josh Green were each tied with 25 points apiece. Although that being said, Ron Valabidi, you know, he also did a little bit more besides scoring, of course. He did have 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks as well. Just an all-around machine on the court. Blake Griffin provided some great offensive output in this one as well. He had 22 in this one, and he was instrumental in taking the Chicago Bulls out of the playoffs completely. Tyrese Halliburton was a great distributor. He had 18 assists in a playoff game. That's insane. Just out here dropping dimes. And then also had 20 points scored. Michael Porter Jr., he ended up with 18 points and 5 rebounds. 4 assists too. Then after that, you know, a few other players chipped in. Jeremy Grant was 6. Malik Beasley with 5. Grant with 4. Bradley with 4. Almost everybody who got in the game except Derrick Jones Jr. actually scored for the Cincinnati Royals. Now for the Chicago Bulls, and particularly for Giannis Antetokounmpo, this was, you know, this is not his fault, you know, that his team lost this series. Look what he did in the playoff loss, man. He had 51 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, also had a couple steals and 3 blocks here in the process, you know. But one thing that we did do is we dared him to take the 3-point jumper. He did. He was 0 for 8 from 3, so, you know, definitely worked out in our favor for sure. Zach LaVine was okay as well, 20 points and 7 assists. Nurkic actually had a double-double. He was 16 and 14. But beyond that, you know, not a ton of help for the Chicago Bulls on this squad, you know. They need to get Giannis a second true superstar. Maybe someone can grow into that on this roster, but man, that's a tough look for sure. Alright guys, so we made franchise history for the first time in Cincinnati Royals history. We are in the conference finals, and we got a matchup of the century here potentially. We're going to take on the Boston Celtics. You know, they got some dudes on this squad as well. I don't think they're as talented as the Chicago Bulls team that we face, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see. I do have quite a few guys off the bench that are in the 80s, so it's going to be a really interesting one to see how this one goes down. And if you're excited for it as well, I need you guys to do me a favor, man. Smash that like button for me, as well as hit subscribe. You have to be brand new and like what you see as well. This is John J. Gaming on the mic signing off, but hoping you're having a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.